Okay, here's today's take from the mushrooming foray with the Minnesota Mychological Society. I actually had many more, but those were inedible or poisonous. All the ones that you see here are edible, and some I'm unfamiliar with, so I've looked them up just to double check identification. But the experts, the mycologists that were with us on the foray, pretty much assured me that these are all edible mushrooms, and I did some cross-referencing online, and they've come up to be correct. There's nothing here that should kill me, at any rate. Over here, I'll start off with this. This is a strange plant. This isn't even a mushroom. This apparently is called a ghost plant or a corpse plant, and it contains no chlorophyll. So it's not green, and it's parasitic, so it grows off of mushrooms and off of woods and stuff. But I thought it looked like a mushroom or fungi, so I picked it. And I've never seen a plant like this before, so I thought it would be interesting to check it out. And they knew right away that this was called a ghost plant, or other people call it a Indian pipe. I don't think Native Americans would use this as a pipe, but at any rate, as far as I don't know if this is edible, but I just wanted to show this. Just to show how funky it is. So they're all white, and this is the flower here. They don't contain any chlorophyll because they get their nutrients from their hosts, which are fungi and wood. So I'm gonna go from left to right, and this plant here I know pretty well, or this mushroom I know pretty well. This is Old Man of the Woods here, and it's kind of rough. And it's part of a bolute family, and it's got pores instead of gills. And then over here, these have gills, and this, I'm told, is called a fawn mushroom. It grows off of trees. And then this mushroom here is a purple gill plant, or excuse me, a purple gilled mushroom, not a plant, it's a fungus, which is edible. It's a pretty big one, good species. I think I found it. You can see the purple gills. This is positively identified. And I was also told this is edible, and actually a choice edible. And here's another one, a smaller version. Here. And then over here, right here, we have some honey mushrooms. And these were a real choice. Everybody was excited when I pulled these two up. These are the only two that I found. I kind of kept my eyes open for a specific type of mushrooms. I'm sure there's tons and tons of mushrooms that I know I looked over and missed or didn't pick at all, because I was looking for particular mushrooms. So these are honey mushrooms, which apparently are edible, and they have gills, kind of a golden color. This is another one. And then I didn't find any chicken of the woods or any sulphur shells. So someone found some and gave me a couple of pieces of his. But this is what chicken of the woods or sulphur shelf looks like. This is edible, and it gets its name, chicken of the woods, because it tastes like chicken when you cook it. Or sulphur shelf because it's kind of got a sulphur color. Some can be really bright and crimson, kind of white and orange, or red-orange sometimes. And there was a pretty big one found. Someone found about 4 pounds of it. He went back to go get it. And the prizes here, what I was really looking for, are these Chanterelles. And these are really tasty. And these are all over the place. They were a little bit hard to find. But you can tell these have ridges instead of gills. And the gills of a mushroom, or the pores of a mushroom, help it propagate itself, so it spreads out spores, so the winds take it, and so it can reproduce. And all of these are Chanterelles, and I've kind of picked through them all just to double check, because there is a look-alike, which is the jack-o'-lantern, which is not edible, whereas these have a slight apricot-y smell to it. And when you cut it in half, Chanterelles are pure white and not an orange, like its slight look-alike that has gills, going pretty much all the way up the stem into the cap or the hood. And then when you cut it in half, it's more of the same orange color. But these are all chanterelles here. So what I'm going to do is most of these stems are inedible, so I'm just going to go ahead and snip off the tops. And I'm going to parboil these right quick for storage. And you never really want to eat mushrooms raw. That kind of makes sense. They're usually found, you know, at the base of trees and stuff. And coyotes and foxes and people's dogs do things at the bases of trees that you might not want to put in your mouth. Some mushrooms can be hosts to, little bugs that will drill in, lay their eggs. It's not really of a big deal. You just kind of want to parboil them just to kind of kill all that extra protein. That's what I'm going to do. And this is today's bounty for foraging for mushrooms. About 3 hours worth of work. But it was fun to get out in the woods and search around. So again, we've got Old Man of the Forest or the Woods. We've got Fawn Mushrooms. This is a purple gill mushroom. Honey mushrooms. This is sulphur shelf. And these aren't really mushrooms, they're a plant, but they're called a ghost or corpse plant because they're pure white and don't contain chlorophyll, which gives plants its green color and helps with the photosynthesis so it can survive. And then we've got some prized possessions, some chanterelles. Half a cap, a little bit of cap of bleach. I'm going to take, I'm using this as a makeshift scrubber or a potato brush and clean off the mushrooms. I've already gotten rid of the stems, and some of the stems, like this big one on the purple gill, has holes in it. That meant that there were little critters that have climbed up through the root system, and that's how this is the root, climbed up through the root system to feed. So, I'm going to get rid of this. Don't really need it. This is the part I want to focus on. So I'm just rinsing these off, washing these off, and kind of cleaning off any dirt. And I'll be doing that with the chanterelles next. And then what I'll be doing is I'll just be parboiling these to kill any bacteria or any other critters that may be hanging out in these wild mushrooms, and that's kind of part of it. If you kind of get creeped out about bugs, then eating bugs, then either you boil your mushrooms first, or probably just want to avoid them altogether, because that's kind of part of it. I got some stems from the fawn mushroom here I'm going to use. This is the honey mushroom cap. Another honey mushroom cap. So, and some of the stems. Alright, now I'm going to get these chanterelles here. So what I want to do with the chanterelles is I want to cut the base off a little bit and get rid of the stem. And I want to get rid of the dirt, of course. But if it's not too eaten up with bugs, I'm just going to cut these, and I'm actually going to keep the stems and dry them out and dehydrate them so I can split them in half. But this is definitely a chanterelle because it's white in the center. And I'm going to put this in the sink over there with a little bit of bleach water and scrub off the dirt and any other critters that are in there, and then parboil these too. And then probably saute them up in a little bit of butter.